How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today, I'm going to go over a blog post by Sam Altman on how to be successful. He's the CEO of OpenAI, which created ChatGPT. There's no doubt that their product started a revolution in AI. We seem to be at the beginning of a hockey stick curve where a lot of changes are going to happen. So he wrote this blog post about 3 years ago in January of 2019, and it's about how to be successful. Sometimes when you look at these tech titans and they give various advice, it seems a bit out of touch. You can't really apply it to your own life unless you're also trying to be a startup, trying to be an entrepreneur. But I think even if you're not trying to make a unicorn startup, there's a lot of nice advice to be able to apply to the everyday person. Let's just read the headings over here. Compound yourself, have almost too much self-belief, learn to think independently, get good at sales, make it easy to take risks, focus, work hard, be bold, be willful, be hard to compete with, build a network, get rich by owning things, be internally driven, and those are the 13 things. This video is brought to you by Moomoo, the commission-free trading app. You can get 5 free shares of stock just for signing up and depositing $100, 15 free shares of stock just for depositing $1,000. All of this costs you nothing other than signing up and depositing some amount of money. Check out my referral link down in the video description below. For compounding yourself, I think the statement that stands out the most is it's important to move towards a career that has a compounding effect. Most careers progress fairly linearly, meaning that if you are a car repair person, a nurse, a doctor, engineer, lawyer, you can get raises and that progresses linearly. You have to switch into a career, however way that you do it, where your time becomes scalable, where you get paid for the effort that you put in, not by the hour. It also talks about a moat around whatever you're doing. So although you can do something that's scalable, that has an exponential curve in terms of earnings, if someone can jump in really easily and replace you, in other words, you don't have a moat to your business, then whatever business that you're doing can be taken away easily. And you don't want to do that because this is a lifetime thing. I've heard of this moat thing in different angles in terms of Warren Buffett, where when he's investing in a business, he looks for businesses that does have a moat. So if you have a moat, you can attract investors as well. There are many ways to get this moat, such as having enough capital, having enough technology, having a very strong brand. I highly recommend this blog post. Go and read through it. So far, this doesn't apply to most people if you have a regular career. I think the first time I started thinking about compounding yourself is after I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So that planted a seed in my head. It's like, oh, I really got to do something. So I started a whole bunch of things that I think is possibly scalable. And here we are today making YouTube videos. The second one is having almost too much self-belief. This has to do with being an entrepreneur as well. I guess you gotta really believe in yourself. And I guess you could also be delusional too, because let's say you have some idea and no one else believes you except yourself. 10 years later, you are successful and okay, well, you were right. But what if you're one of the 99 people out of 100 that are actually wrong? You're just delusional. So I think this point needs a small disclaimer, meaning that you also need to be smart enough to know that whatever you believe in is actually the right path, is actually doable. Learn to think independently. This seems a bit vague. It's kind of like thinking out of the box. How do you train for something like this? You just have to be a creative person. Many times being creative, I think, is knowing a lot of details in different areas that other people don't know about, and then you connect them, because not everyone is well versed in 2 different difficult topics. If you connect them, then that's sort of out of the box thinking. Get good at sales. I've heard this so many times. People just said, you need to sell stuff eventually. You need to be not ashamed of selling people on things too. It's like sell me this pen type of thing. The best way to be good at sales is to genuinely believe in what you're selling. I think this comes from legitimate experience, because in my experience, when I personally really like something, I can also see the sales figures be a lot better. You have to believe in the product. You have to like it. Use it yourself. You just can't like take some random product and go, oh, I like this. You're like on some kind of cable TV shopping show. Make it easy to take risks. What does this mean? I read a lot of these how entrepreneurs get their start type of articles where they always say, oh, they were eating ramen, they're living under the desk. And it's a common theme, and it probably works because you have to have your burn rate extremely low. Why is it so important to have it low? So that you can take the risks. It becomes a solid platform where you can do things and not have to worry about paying some really high bills at the end. You can still afford to live and eat at a minimal level. So the lower your burn rate is, the more flexibility that you have, the more it allows you to try new things that other competitors are not able to try. When you try new things enough times, you're bound to hit the bullseye after enough tries. Focus is a force multiplier on work. It is much more important to work on the right thing than it is to work many hours. This section is almost too short, and I think many people that read a bunch of wisdom, maybe you're scrolling through Instagram or something and you read like 10 bullet points of wisdom that are really, really good, but then you're not really ready to internalize it just yet. So I want to elaborate a little bit on focus. A lot of time can be spent wasted on things that does not matter. Only a small percentage of things really does matter in moving your career forward. So think about all the things that you're actually doing. Which one has the most impact? And go and do those first. To be really, really focused, you might even have to look at the things that doesn't matter and actually don't do them at all. Some things might be low-hanging fruits. Okay, maybe you want to tackle some of them, but you really have to just cut them off and concentrate on the things that do matter. This point is so important. I think it's probably worth even spending 1 hour a day in the morning or like the previous night or something, thinking about what is the most important things that you should do. What would get you most bang for the buck for your effort? That's truly an underappreciated point, I think. You get to the 90th percentile by working hard or smart. You need to work hard and smart if you want to be in the 99th percentile, it says. You're competing with very talented people. Other people have access to this particular blog. They know what to do, but are you going to be the person that actually follows this and actually execute? Be bold, be willful, be hard to compete with, build a network, get rich by owning things. You have to own assets. This includes business, real estate, natural resource, intellectual property, or some kind of shares in some company. You need to own equity and not make your money through trading your time for money. Time scales linearly, assets scales exponentially. The last one is be internally driven. After you've made enough money to buy whatever you want and have gotten enough social status, it stops being fun to get more. In order to accelerate further than that, you have to be internally driven. You have some goal that you want to achieve yourself, some kind of vision to impress yourself, not to impress other people. This blog post is so extremely concise. It's really, really worth your time. Go check it out. I'll leave the link to this down in the video description below. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.